Welcome back. This is an update, a short presentation, summary of all my observations thus far. This is my second upload. I thought I put up a better video with better resolution. So enjoy. Do share this video. Thank you.
In this way, they meant also to defile those who say that they were born at the end of the age, through the Word, through the true human. The authorities and their angels erred. They did not know they defiled their own body and likeness in all these ways. She first became pregnant with Abel from the first ruler, and then she gave birth to her other children from the seven authorities and their angels. All this happened in accordance with the chief creator's forethought, so that the first mother might bear within herself every seed, every one mixed and joined with the fate of the world and its configurations, and justice. A plan for Eve emerged, that the modeled bodies of the authorities might contain the light. Then the light would condemn the authorities through their own modeled bodies. The first atom of light is spiritual and appeared on the first day. The second atom is physical and appeared on the sixth day, called Aphrodite. The third atom is earthly, a person of law, who appeared on the eighth day, called Sunday, after the poor day of rest. The offspring of earthly Adam multiplied and filled the earth, and they acquired all the technical skills physical Adam had, but they were all in ignorance. Let me continue. When the rulers saw him, and the woman with him in error and ignorance, like animals, they were very pleased. Then they found out that the immortal human was not going to pass them by, and they would even have to fear the woman who turned into a tree. They were troubled and said, "Could this be the one who blinded us and taught us about the defiled woman who resembles the true human, in order to overpower us?" The seven hatched a plot. They approached Adam and Eve carefully and said to him, "You may eat the fruit of every tree created for you in paradise, but be careful not to eat from the tree of knowledge. If you eat, you will die." They gave them a great fright and withdrew up to their authorities. The beast, the wisest of all creatures, came by. When it saw the likeness of their mother Eve, it said to her, "What did God say to you? "Do not eat from the tree of knowledge?" She said, "He not only said, 'Do not eat from it,' but 'Do not touch it, or you will die.'" The beast said to her, "Don't be afraid. You certainly will not die. He knows that when you eat from it, your minds will become sober, and you will be like gods, knowing the difference between evil and good people. He said this to you because he is jealous, so that you would not eat from it." Eve believed the words of the instructor. She looked at the tree and saw it was beautiful and appealing, and she liked it. She took some of its fruit and ate, and she gave it to her husband too, and he also ate. Their minds opened. When they had eaten, the light of knowledge shone on them. When they clothed themselves with shame, they knew they were stripped of knowledge. When they became sober, they saw they were naked, and they fell in love. When they saw their makers looked like beasts, they loathed them. They understood a great deal. When the rulers realized that Adam and Eve had broken their commandment, they entered a paradise and came to Adam and Eve with an earthquake and a great threat in order to see what happened as a result of the help that was given. Adam and Eve were very much disturbed, and they hid in the trees in paradise. The rulers did not know where they were, and they said, "Adam, where are you?" He said, "I'm here. I was ashamed and hid because I was afraid of you." They said to him ignorantly, "Who told you about the shame with which you clothed yourselves, unless you ate from the tree?" He said, "The woman you gave it to me, and I ate." They said to the woman, "What have you done?" She answered and said, "The instructor urged me to eat it, and I ate." The rulers approached the instructor. Their eyes were blinded by it, and they could not do anything to it. They were powerless, and they cursed it. Then they came to the woman, and they cursed her and her children. After the woman, they cursed Adam and the earth, and the fruit because of him. Everything they created, they cursed. There is no blessing from them. Good cannot come from evil. Since then, the authorities have known for certain that there is something stronger than they. They simply recognized that their commandment was broken. Great envy came into the world just because of the immortal human. When the rulers saw that their Adam had acquired different knowledge, they wanted to test him. They gathered all the domestic animals, wild beasts of the earth, and the birds of the sky, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. When he saw them, he gave names to the creatures of the rulers. The rulers were troubled that Adam had recovered from all his anguish. They gathered together and made a plan and said, "Look, Adam has become like one of us, and he knows the difference between light and darkness. Now perhaps he will go astray as he did with the tree of knowledge, and will come to the tree of life, eat from it, and become immortal, and rule and despise us, and consider us and all our glory to be foolish. And he will denounce us and our world. Come, let's throw him out of paradise down to the earth, where he came from, so that he no longer can know anything better than we can." So they threw Adam and his wife out of paradise. What they had done did not satisfy them. They were still afraid. So they went to the tree of life and said great dreadful things around it, fiery, living creatures called cherubim. And among them they put a flaming sword, constantly turning in a terrifying way so that no one from the earth might ever enter that place. After this, since the rulers were jealous of Adam, they wanted to shorten the human lifespan. But they could not do so because of fate, which was established from the beginning. To each human being there was assigned a lifespan of 1,000 years, according to the circuit of the heavenly luminaries. Though the rulers were not able to do this, each one of the evildoers subtracted 10 years, so the remaining time comes to 930 years, and those are spent in grief and weakness and evil distractions. This is how life has gone from that day until the end of the age. When Sophia Zoe saw that the archons of darkness cursed her friends who were like her, she was angry. She came from the first heaven with all her power and chased the rulers from their heavens, and she cast them down into the sinful world so that they might dwell there as evil demons upon the earth. She sent a bird that was in paradise so that, until the end of the age, it might spend 1,000 years in the ruler's world. The bird, a living creature endowed with soul, is called the phoenix, and it kills itself and revives itself as an image of the judgment against the rulers, because they dealt unjustly with Adam and his generation until the end of the age. There are 3 human beings and their descendants in the world until the end of the age: the spiritual, the psychical, and the earthly. This circumstance is like the 3 kinds of phoenixes of paradise. The first is immortal, the second lives 1,000 years, and the third is consumed according to what is written in the holy book. Likewise, there are 3 baptisms. The first is spiritual, the second is by fire, the third is by water. As the image of the phoenix appears with reference to the angels, so the water serpents in Egypt indicate those who go down for the baptism of a true human being. The 2 bulls in Egypt indicate a mystery, the sun and the moon, which represent Sabaoth, because Sophia of the Word has been exalted above the sun and the moon from the time when she created them and sealed her heaven until the end of the age. The worm that is born from the phoenix also represents humanity. It is written of it, "The just will sprout like a phoenix." The phoenix first appears alive, then dies, and then rises again as an image of what appears at the end of the age. These great images have appeared only in Egypt, not in other lands, indicating that Egypt is like God's paradise. Let us return to the rulers of whom we spoke, so that we may offer an explanation of them. When the 7 rulers were cast from their heavens down to the earth, they created for themselves angels, numerous and demonic, to serve them. These angels taught people much about error, magic, potions, idolatry, bloodshed, altars, temples, sacrifices, and libations to all the demons of the earth. The angels work with fate, which came into being by agreement of the gods of injustice and justice. So when the world came into being, it went about in error and confusion all the time. All people on the earth served the demons from the creation until the end of the age, both the angels of justice and the people of injustice. Thus the world was in confusion, ignorance, and stupor. All erred until the appearance of the true human. Enough on this. Next we shall consider our world, so that we may present an accurate description of its structure and administration. Then it will be clear how the proof of hidden things, which have been apparent from the foundation of the world to the end of the age, came about. Now I come to the main points about immortal humanity. I shall discuss all the beings belonging to immortal humanity and explain how they got here. When a multitude of people had come into being through Adam, who was formed from matter, and the world was filled, the rulers reigned over it. That is, they kept it in ignorance. What is the reason? It is this. The immortal Father knows that deficiency of truth came to be among the aeons and their world. So when he wanted to bring down the rulers of perdition by means of their modeled creatures, he sent the blessed little innocent spirits who are like you down to the world of perdition. They are not strangers to knowledge. All knowledge is in one angel who appears to them. This angel stands before the Father and is not incapable of giving them knowledge. Whenever they appear in the world of perdition, the blessed spirits immediately reveal the pattern of incorruptibility so as to condemn the rulers and their powers. When the blessed spirits appeared in the modeled bodies of the authorities were jealous of them. Out of envy, the authorities mixed their semen with them in order to defile them, but they were not able. When the blessed spirits appeared in an enlightened form, they appeared in different ways. They came from different realms and revealed their knowledge to the church that appeared in the modeled bodies of perdition. The church was found to have all kinds of seed because of the seed of the authorities mixed with it. Then the Savior made all of them one. The spirits of these people proved to be superior, being blessed, but varying in election. There are many others who are kingless and superior to everyone before them. So there are 4 generations. 3 generations belong to the kings of the 8th heaven, and the 4th generation, which is the most exalted, is kingless and perfect. These people will enter the holy place of their Father, and they will reside in rest and eternal, ineffable glory and ceaseless joy. They are already kings. They are the immortal within the mortal, and they will condemn the gods of chaos and their powers. The Word, who is above all, was sent for one reason only, to announce what is unknown. He said, "There is nothing hidden that is not apparent, and what has not been known will be known." These people were sent to reveal what is hidden and expose the 7 authorities of chaos and their godlessness, and so they were condemned to death. When all those who are perfect appeared in the modeled bodies of the rulers and revealed matchless truth, they put to shame all the wisdom of the gods. Their fate was condemnation. Their power was dried up. Their dominion was dissolved. Their forethought was empty, as was their glory. Before the end of the age, this whole region will shake with loud thunder. The archons will lament because of their fear of death. The angels will grieve for their human beings. The demons will weep over their times and seasons, and their people will mourn and cry on account of their death. Then the age will come, and they will be disturbed. Their kings will be drunk from the flaming sword and will wage war against each other, so that the earth will be drunk from the blood that is poured out. The seas will be troubled by war. The sun will darken and the moon will lose its light. The stars of the sky will abandon their circuits, and loud thunder will roar from a great power above all the powers of chaos, where the firmament of the female is located. She had produced the first creation, and now she will put away her wise fire of afterthought and put on irrational wrath. Pistis Sophia will drive out the gods of chaos, whom she had created along with the chief creator